Hey, y'all, welcome to the Seed Storyteller series with my brand new soul sister, Julie Gaede. Welcome, sister. Thank you for joining.
Thanks so much for having me.
You're welcome. Where are you coming to us from?
Coming from Richmond, Wisconsin. Very cold season of the year here.
Yes, yes. Yeah, it was about 20 degrees when my kids went to school this morning around here too. So we have some cool days ourselves here in Colorado.
Yeah.
Well, welcome. And to those of you that are brand new to me or to Julie, I want to just make sure you know what we're going to be doing and who I am and who Julie is. And we welcome you to stay for our whole 45 minutes Facebook Live that we will post again on YouTube, so you can enjoy on a replay or the live. However you are joining us, we believe this is the stuff of destiny. There are no accidents. And we hope and we believe that you will find a bit of your story and a bit more of what is capturing your heart's attention and your gifts, the ways that you are uniquely destined to bring your gifts to the world here in the Seeds Storyteller series. And Julie, in a moment, is going to be talking to us about her work as co-founder of Tutapona, that is bringing trauma rehabilitation, soul care, flourishing, well-being is the hope and the prayer to those that have been victims, that have been our survivors of war, refugees, those that have been have been trafficked or just struggling in the world. And I'm so honored to have this connection with you, Julie, and to share your story with folks. It's a great joy and great honor. So thank you.
Thank you. The honor is mine, for sure.
Yeah. So keenly, because of the conversation that we are going to have, that is absolutely going to have threads and be held really in hope and light. There are some hard stories in the world, particularly in the calling that our sister Julie has. So we really want to make sure we take a moment and do what we do at the beginning of these Seeds Storyteller series conversations, and have a place of pause to create a moment to take a breath in a busy season, perhaps a busy day, and also really prepare our hearts, our minds, our spirits for whatever gifts are meant for each of us here in our conversation with Julie. So I'm going to start, and Julie's gonna wrap us up. I'm going to read an excerpt from my book, Live Ablaze. And I invite you, if it would feel good, to sit back and relax and close your eyes if that would feel good, and just take a moment. So be still, surrender. In the pain, in the joy, in the busyness, wherever you are, pause. Whether you feel a flicker of hope or feel nothing or feel great, pause. Breathe deep. Breathe full, big breaths. Breathe in hope. Breathe in love. Breathe in peace. And the second part is ponder. You don't need to dig deep to find pain in our world. Most likely, steady streams of ticker tapes line and scroll across the bottom of your TV and your cell phone news feeds. It can be horrifying and unimaginable. So what to do? These challenges are mighty, and you may feel at a loss for what you can possibly do to make a difference. You may be nudged to move towards what beckons and maybe what breaks your heart. This takes courage. You've got this because you guessed it. You are not alone. In the story to come, particularly here with Julie, witness the courage and the commitment of one who has chosen to wade into the deep pain of our world, and watch for it. The arc of this story is aglow with inspiration, hope, and great big love. May you find a bit more of what matters to you in this story to come.
Beautiful. Thank you.
Yeah.
Well, I was thinking I could maybe just say a prayer for us as we get started.
Awesome.
And just our pause for God protecting our spirits as we may hear some hard things. So
let's do it.
Okay. Heavenly Father, we praise you that you are a God of great love. We praise you for the incredible sacrifice of your Son that allows us to know you and be known by you. And God, we thank you for the depth and the profound love and affection that you have for those who are broken and struggling. And we thank you so much for the incredible privilege that we have of ministering alongside of you to their needs, Lord. God, we ask that you would fill us with your peace, that you would ground us in your strength, to just be able to hear and process all that takes place today in the stories that we hear. We thank you for your faithfulness in that. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Well, to those that are just joining us, welcome. This is the Seed Storyteller series with brand new to me, soul sister, Julie Gaede. We have many mutual friends in common, so it's just been a matter of time until we connected. And we are going to be talking about Julie's passion and her calling in her work as co-founder of Tutapona, and her love and commitment to really bring hope and peace to those that have been traumatized by war and violence and the really challenging places that the world that there can be in the world. But in the midst of all of this, there is hope and great big love. So thank you for joining. And Julie, I would love to start with if you can give us a glimpse of the work of Tutapona and what it is that y'all do and who it is that you serve, and just paint a picture of
Sure.
what y'all are about.
Okay, yeah. So our work started in Uganda, North Africa, or in the northern part of Uganda in Gulu. We originally set out there to work with the needs of those that were affected by the Lord's Resistance Army, and with the children who had been abducted and forced to be child soldiers and sex slaves. And so when we started out, that was our mandate from the very beginning, that we just said, hey, like, we don't build houses and we don't know how to do a lot of things, but we are psychotherapists, and we have this to offer. And so if you can use it, God, use it. And so this burden was put on our heart, and I can maybe share a little bit more about how that got started later. But so that was our original place. And then we worked a lot in all of the areas where the LRA, we were kind of cleaning up behind where the LRA had been stationed, from Uganda to South Sudan, back into Uganda, just in kind of the heart of where they created and did a lot of damage. And we've trained up locals to do the program in their own language with their own sense of humor, and their personal connection to be able to offer this program. And it's a 2-week program where we address the emotional needs of the war, and we also are providing individual counseling for those that are needing more than that. We started off by working with adolescents and adults, but obviously seeing the great need of the children and their reactions to their trauma as well. We've written a new program for children that we offer as well. So we started in North Uganda, and then we started working in all of the refugee settlements. I wouldn't say all of them, but many of the refugee settlements that are around Uganda. And we have so many refugees that are coming into Uganda from various nations, over 13, 14 countries. And then after being in Uganda for 8 years and building up our program there and getting it really strong, we got greatly nudged to offer our services in Northern Iraq as well. And so our family moved, with the work continuing strong in Uganda, to North Iraq to address the Syrian and Yazidi crisis that was going on with ISIS. And so again, providing the group, and I was doing a lot of the individual counseling through interpreters, and then, yeah, so then after a year and a half there, again, building that program strong, we have a lot of local nationals that are leading and running that, along with some other international crew. We had to evacuate because things got a little rough in North Iraq, and thought we would be heading straight back in or be placed in some other part of the world. But currently, for some reason, this is our station. And so we've been in the US for the past couple of years, not quite 2 years. And we also have started in the United States here, working with refugees that are in our area, in Minneapolis, St. Paul area. And we're also trying to get into Lebanon at the time, and currently as well, though we are a bit on hold because there's a lot of crisis going on in Lebanon. So that's a nutshell.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So share with us a little bit, just to kind of give folks a context. I just think it's such an amazing thing to hear how, like the steps that it took for you to get to be doing this work here, in building the work for many years in Uganda, moving to Northern Iraq, and now considering Lebanon. What has this been something that's kind of captured your heart's attention for your whole life? Did you have education in this field? Like what are a couple of the moments that kind of were the big ones to kind of lead you to
Sure.
doing this?
Yeah, so husband and I are both trained counselors, and really, happily installed doing that here in Wisconsin, actually. And involved in that, though I would say started getting pretty itchy and scratchy. Like, obviously there's great need here, but I just personally was feeling like there is more.
Yeah.
That there's more that I feel like I need to be doing. And so then shortly after that, my husband and I were watching a documentary on what was going on in northern Uganda, and we had no clue. And it had been going on for 10 years.
Yeah.
And we were blown away by the level of this atrocity and the fact that we knew nothing about it.
Right.
And we were wrecked. I mean, after watching these children night commuting into the city, sometimes 5 miles or more, to try to stay safe and not be abducted by this rebel army who is, again, like doing horrific things. We just said, we can't sit silent. We know about this now. There's something we need to do. And so my husband immediately, we were looking at a way for him to get there and see for himself what was going on and how he might be able to get involved. And so 4 months later, he was there and
Wow.
saw the need in person. And then, he heard about a trauma rehabilitation program that was being piloted there. And so when he got back, we contacted the author of that program and said, hey, like, we want to know more. We feel like somehow we need to get involved. And so contacted him. We both met him in Uganda, and that's kind of where things started rolling out. So,
yeah. Wow. And that's truly why I love the like stoking the fire of stories, right? Because you watched this film, which, as you said, it wrecked you, and it really propelled you, it sounds like, towards this work that I think you were destined to do. So I guess fair warning to those that are watching, these stories are powerful. It can really shift the arc of your life in a beautiful way, in an unexpected way, in an uncomfortable way. And sometime I would love to dive into the discernment and the mysteries that y'all navigated to, buy the ticket to Uganda and, start the organization. But I have too many other things I want to make sure we hit on. So so can you share with us one of your favorite, like just one that pops into your head, a story of a person or a community that you got to witness kind of rising from the ashes or becoming well after, in a big whole way?
Yeah.
What would you say comes to mind?
One that really touched me was one of the places that we are working out of is called Nakivale, and it's in southwest Uganda, a refugee settlement. And there are over 10 nations represented in this one settlement. And there was a woman there, I'm going to call her Esther, and she was from the Congo. And the Congo is known as the rape capital of the world. And there are rebel groups there that are using serious, severe rape as a weapon of war. Many women end up needing these fistula surgery. It's awful. But anyway, she was one woman who was brutally raped by many men in the Congo. And she and her children fled to Uganda and ended up in the refugee settlement. And her 9-year-old daughter was also raped in the refugee settlement then by 2 men. So this place they come to for refuge, leaving everything behind to get there. not a refuge for them.
Mm.
And so they went, the mom went through the program. She was, as you can imagine, feeling very hopeless, and not able to cope very well with life. And she, her kids weren't going to school because she couldn't function enough to work to send them to school and make money. So anyway, she went through the program, and she experienced so much healing that we just kind of we do follow-up care with, after we take people through program. We always do follow-up and check. We do pre and post tests to check their post-traumatic kind of stress, where they are before, where they are after the program. And then we follow up after 3 months. We do the same and just check in with people. And we happen to be in part of the check-in there. And we're having just a conversation with her, and she's like, yeah, and like, I have been able to reach out to so many people. I've got this group together. So we're called Tutapona, right? Well, she named it Tutapona, Help for Victims or something. She named it with the Tutapona name, and she got this group of people who had also gone through our program, and they were running out to hospitals and prisons and sharing what they learned in the program with those that were struggling in those places. And so she had started her own little Tutapona branch that we had no idea about. And then also in the meantime started a kiosk where she was selling veggies and fruits and able to provide school fees for all of her kids. And just the way she carried herself, before and after, was astounding. So yeah.
Amazing.
Very encouraging.
I love that. Well, let's take a minute and share this beautiful video that your team put together, talking about the big work of Tutapona, but also specifically your work in Iraq. Do you have anything to say to kind of set up the video, or do you just want me to hit play?
I think, I just need to say that I have loved my experience living in Iraq. I love the Iraqi people. And we have, I can get emotional about it because I just feel really sad about how the world, our side of the world, sees the Middle East. And so anyway, I love that this video gives a picture of our beautiful friends. We have an incredible staff. We serve beautiful people, and yeah. So I guess I just want to say that about this. Yeah.
And there is, in the write-up for Julie and my conversation, there are tons of links and ways that you can kind of explore if Julie and Tutapona is new to you, including a link to this video. So have fun, as I say, going into the vortex of Julie and Tutapona. And yeah, if you want to watch this video again, I've watched it a few times and it's beautiful.
And one little plug I would love is that if people could share it and get
please,
we would love that.
Thank you. Thank you. Yes. Okay. Hang tight.
أول شهر خدي يعني تقريبا بريك بسر شنقال لا بقرنا دمها سيمها دوش متشتاق بس بنقول يبوك داعش هاي وقتي يعني خدي خلقي بحثت كل يعني هم كسري وانجي بعد كن دنا بقول لا شي قاعد بان يعني أبتشتا حميد قوتن نقالكي تلقاك هات هموش خوراكتن چون بر دیوارکی ما بلند بوا و هبون بری ما خودی بشتی هنگی یعنی که حتی بس کزارو بخون ما نزانی که چندی چای دمینن ما کیم یعنی ما زلامه ما کیم ناند خواد بس بر بچیکا خود یعنی قالك مستحيل بدي اجيب بيني ناقة بس يعني بيتر تحمل نابوكا مثلا هي استليوان بيتر نالهاتن خود الشعور عم يعني شعورك غريب وزلامة نزاني ويتش بزلامة يعني زلامة كرداتشي يعني فادسي نافادسي
وقت هكيش عمري من أسن ساق ببوم قالك يعني بازبر ما دكتورة همي عرضة قوتي أخيرا قوتي بنا مال يعني بوي چند روجت من هما بو دعاب كان تشرق بونينا كو علاج بو بينينا باش تتا بيرام او روجا ناچنش بيرامن او روجا تسن ساق ناچنش بيرامن باش تتا بیرام از هر سر به دیکا خود بوم و شوینت نوز دفمه بو یعنی یا بزحمت و بس بیرام تتا چت کر بومن هر وقتی هم بجین قمجی های چه جاش بیر ناکن یعنی بیا برا که آدایی که بو خلق او حاجه کنه دیکام دائما دعمام کری حتی نو که یعنی هلای اسو صاوه حاجه کرنه بدم خلقی گلکش وقتی هم بچیک ما گلک خون هاون ما گلک هیوی هاون هر یکش ما ویا بیتا تشتکل حیات آخو ویا بگهت هدفه که
ابدا من فکری مدبوم یک جاره که نهادی خونم نشیده کس خیبته که هوا بکن بری کس بیم حقیقت بری کس بیم ما دوره گلک تشتابون و گلک یعنی ما عملی که خود چی ند کرد حتی عملی خود سر حیاتا خود چی ند کرد
وقتی هاتی نکمپا گلک نخوشی دیده و گلک صدمه واها بود توتابونا شانس ها بود که بیت کردستان و هاری کاری خلقی بکد و 2-3 ساله شولم ویرا مسهل برنامج ام هاری کاری خلقی بکن و نشاب دین پشتی هر صدمه که چه مهارات بواته چه قوت بواته ام ویرا نشاد دین ریک دینه و چوا لیواتشتاب کاری
بس دوره توتاپونا قالك محجي كده توتاپونا وكا تشد بيجناني قبل كان وقف زلام عرب كيف خوش كانوا زلام عرب زلام عاجي كيف خوش
چون که خالق تو صح که بلکه قالك شوي شول که بلکه عندك مدرسه خوندك بس محتاج تشتكي ايك زرا ودلوا باش که تشتي باش يعني توتاپونا افتشتي كات قال خلقي هر جا نخوشی حیات خودی تینا و افتش تجدر یا بزحمته از بجم داوی عملك هبید گلک متشتدیتی یعنی اوی گلک بحث کری که وقتیات یا پاراگرامی گلک حیاتایی بدل بو ازانم حتی نو که اویل کمپین خوشی بس بریوی المستقبل ازان دی مستقبل هبید و دی مروفه که ناجح بید
وساقر يعني تشتغل مني نوزي تمام ويعني شغلك شمرات شيء بس فاس يعني إنسانك جيبو كما خديه وكما يعني
اکسپاسیات کن اوه دعمات توتابونه کرین و هاری کاری های کرین چونکو خلق گلک محتاج توتابونه هلوی کردستانه و وا کمپا السيبيت كان منجي هشتا مساعدات توتابونا بكم شكو خلق قالك محتاجي معه.
Wow. I love that.
It was pretty incredible living and working with the level of trauma that we experienced. A lot of my work was with women who had escaped ISIS, and the stories of living in captivity were unspeakable. I mean, horrific. But I would say that the hardest part about working with many of them is that they still had daughters in captivity and sons that they didn't know would still be alive, and husbands that were most likely killed. And so though we offered our program and I did individual counseling, it was like constant still trauma, like still living in constant trauma, because their horror story just continued, even though they were able to escape every minute of living in fear, like every minute of their day living in fear. They were able to escape that, but their daughters were still there and their sons. And so that was hard.
Yeah. Yeah. So Julie, what kept you while you were there and now continuing to do this work here from Wisconsin? But your heart, I know, is so big, so it's wrapped around the world. What keeps you in it and able to keep being a part of these sisters and brothers' pain and healing?
Yeah.
But as you say, the pain and the struggle, what gives you hope and keeps you there?
Yeah, I guess, our program is obviously for anyone. And, we are working with Muslims, we're working with UZD, we're working with people of all nations, Christians, but we have seen such incredible, I literally feel like God comes down in the middle of it, because it's a great program. We have a couple programs. We're doing one that's focused on specifically post-traumatic growth. So trying to help people before the roots of post-traumatic stress like sink in and take root. We try to, we try to get in there before that sets in and look at how can we take the pain that we've experienced and actually grow.
Wow.
From that. And so that's the program that we've, our newest program that we've been really working out, or, seeing God do, and crazy, amazing things with, but like great programs, but literally I think that he is coming down in the middle of it and meeting people in ways that I can't explain in my, years of training and experience in counseling, because the life transformation that people experience is so different than what we would see with traditional. And so that keeps me going. And in fact, my husband and I just had a conversation this morning after he was reading online about some stories about just sad things that have been happening with Syrians. And he was broken again and just like, how can we do more? How can we do more? Because we've seen such incredible hope and transformation for people that we just want to be able to do more. We've in North Iraq, where we're positioned right now, we have Syrian Kurds flooding across the border, thousands. At one point it was 1,000 a day that were coming over into from Syria with what's been going on there recently. And we want to reach them because they're so broken. So that, I think just the hope of hearing all the stories of transformation, just I keep doing it, keep seeing it. So
yeah. Well, I want to make sure we, in the midst of you sharing this beautiful tapestry of the Tutapona canvas, to share with folks that have been following. I mean, the way you and I connected is through Brandy Lee, co-founder of Beauty Frashes Uganda. And throughout the rest of December, we're running our Seeds of Exchange December fundraising partnership specifically for this beautiful collaboration between our sister Julie on the call right now, Sarah Ray, who is on a Facebook Live webinar this morning, and Brandy. It's this beautiful triangle. And then now all of us in the Seeds of Exchange community and beyond. So talk about a community extravaganza of collaboration and commitment to do what we can with what we have. So for those that have funds to give, we would so welcome you to donate. The link is in the write-up, and the funds that are given are going directly to this program in Uganda called Heal and Thrive. And Julie's work is with the healing part of that, providing trauma support, love, healing for 1,230 Ugandan sisters. And if you extrapolate the ways these mamas are loving and caring for their families, their children, their community, it's thousands upon thousands. Brandy's thrown out 9 or 10,000 of, in terms of impact just with this community of women. So, and also please know that in the write-up, there's also a link to Tutapona. And if you are wanting to loop in with what Julie is doing to give funds to their continued work as they continue, I mean, their hearts are so big. They're gonna do as much as they can with what they have. So if you want to contribute to that pot of dollars of support, please make sure you do. But will you share, Julie, kind of because it's so cool, what it is that you have cooking here starting in January 2020 with our sisters in Uganda through Heal and Thrive. Can you talk about it?
Seriously, it's such a huge privilege. I was really honored to get to know Brandy and just love what she's been involved in with these mamas and with kiddos, and love that we share a heart for Uganda and the needs there. So yeah, the 1,230, is it?
Yeah, I mean, I think so. That's what I have.
Women that are a part of her program and have experienced some of the horrific effects of the war that Uganda was involved in, are still a struggle. I mean, it's still a struggle for them. And so we get to send 2 of our staff to just minister and work with them for 6 months, where we'll be taking in groups, because we're not going to serve all 1,200 at once. So we're going to be breaking them off into groups, and then offering our 2-week group counseling program to every single one of them. And then also offering our individual counseling services as well to those that could use extra support. So yeah.
That's so cool. So the 2-week aspect of the program, as I understand it, has this kind of community sister circle sort of a thing. So there's kind of individuals are being really healed in this kind of community circle.
Yeah.
Is that, do I understand that correctly? Or
so meeting as a group is such a gift in many ways, because things that you've held so silent and secretive, you have this place to feel like I'm not alone with my having nightmares every night, and having this fear and that fear, and struggling with sleeping and mistrust. And so being able to experience that, one piece of our program that tends to be like the one that people most talk about is about forgiveness. And we have seen, you know, countless stories of incredible forgiveness of people who have, shared a meal after the program with the person who killed every single one of their family members, lit their hut on fire, or just horrific atrocities, and have been able to forgive them. And so that's a big piece of our work. And what we're seeing is that communities are being affected. So where there's been strife in the refugee settlements or whatever, like suddenly people are forgiving and able to reach out and love and care for. And so violence is going down and unity and community is going up. And so I think that'll be really exciting for these mamas to experience some of that. And sorry, I think I forgot the rest of your question.
No, that was it. You rocked it. That was great. And it starts in January, and you said it goes 6 months. Is that what I heard you say?
Yeah.
So cool.
Yeah, so cool. I'm so excited to be part of this organization that Brand. Yeah, I mean, again, like collaboration is so exciting.
Yeah. So we want to make sure we take a few minutes as we are about to wrap up. And it's just, I say this almost just every time. It's such a beautiful time vortex. I can't believe it's already been 40 minutes. So we have to wrap up here. But Julie and I really want to make sure that for those that are watching live or on the replay, that there are a couple invitations for you. One is, we know that trauma and that broken hearts and broken bodies happens the world. There is nowhere in the world where there are not places of brokenness and darkness. And so we really want to make sure that for those of you that are watching and you yourself have that feeling in your body, in your mind, in your spirit, or you know someone, we believe profoundly in the power of prayer and the power of holding each other's pain together so that you're not holding it alone. Julie mentioned that the power of being witnessed in sharing our stories with each other. So please reach out to me if we are friends. Reach out to Julie if you're in her circle, and please don't go it alone. Reach out to someone live and just be a trusted soul friend. Share what is going on so that you aren't in the dark by yourself. And she even opened her Place of Pause contribution, and for those that didn't catch it at the beginning, was this prayer, this blessing over this conversation and over every person watching. So that includes you, and really please carry that, if it's a blessing to you, that sense of divine, great big love and healing and hope. And then the second thing we really want to make sure that you do not leave this conversation without pondering and committing to is, what is something from Julie's story that just kind of lit you up, or maybe made your stomach or your heart hurt, where it just is like that, that is capturing my attention. I want to do something about that, or I want to take that is meant for me. And so our invitation is to really, if you know what it is, please comment on Facebook or on YouTube. Send us an email and really commit to one thing that is connected with that. We call it soulful inspired action. It's like how the stuff gets worked into our lives and how we kind of make our way into our destiny to love, serve, feel good, that we're making a difference in the world. And I believe that's for everyone, that there is no one that does not have that calling. The callings are all different, but I think we all have this great invitation that we're here, we matter, we're here with a one-of-a-kind gift and purpose. So if you caught wind of that, please fan the flame by sharing it with someone and doing one thing, small or big, doesn't matter. Just kind of take a step towards it. Because I think that's all we can ever do, is just the one step at a time thing. So before we wrap up this conversation, I would love, Julie, for you to share one last story, plant one last seed of something that's on your mind and your heart to share with us. And
I guess just as you were saying that, I think that many of us can get stuck in the lie that I don't have anything to offer.
Yeah.
Or I can't speak well, or, whatever it is. I mean, we all like struggle with, there's always this kind of these lies that we're not good enough, we're not capable enough, we're not strong enough, we're not fill in the blank enough to offer anything of value. And so I guess I just want to say, like, yes, that's a lie, and yes, you are. And that I am, I just, recently came out of North Iraq, where this struggle was profound, and I came to the United States, where the struggle is profound, and I am blown away by just the hurt around me. And so I just encourage you, love, and reach out and encourage and stand alongside and pray for, and don't let your fear of others keep you from touching them. So,
wow. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for sharing your story, your heart, your tears, your love with us. It comes through the screen. I feel like you're sitting in my office with me.
Maybe one day I can be.
I hope so. I hope so. Well, thank you and blessings to you. And I am definitely a cheerleader and keen to be a part of the Tutapona family for as long as I can. So I'm grateful to know you, and to all of y'all watching. Julie and I want to wrap with just a reminder that you are so loved. No matter where you are in the world, you belong. You belong in this world, and we belong to each other. And let's just keep finding ways to stand tall and to light up the world together. So blessings to y'all, much love, and until next time, bye.
Bye.